This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
And new this morning, some residents of Milan are up in arms over the conditions at a Heartland senior housing complex after a sewer leak, forcing them to leave their homes, with some having no other place to go. Samantha Croix is doing some digging to find out what the city's next move is. Good morning, Samantha.
Thanks, Ella, and good morning, Heartland. I am in Milan this morning trying to get some information about the Dah-Tah senior living complex that was recently flooded with sewage about 2 weeks ago. And I'm joined here with Jim Onello, who is a city administrator here in Milan, kind of to get a few answers. So obviously we can't really get in the buildings because of it being contaminated. But can you just talk to me a little bit about the situation that people are in as it first happened with their belongings in there?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Mother Nature dealt everybody a bad hand with a severe storm, and the sewer backed up into their residences. They've lost a lot of personal property, furniture, personal belongings, stuff that really is pretty hard to replace. So they're in a pretty tough situation right now.
And where are people going? I know obviously they can't be living here. I think a few residents that we spoke to kind of wanted to say this is their home, but kind of where are they going, obviously, since this isn't an option?
Some of them have been able to go out to the Milan motel, but I think that was only for about a week or so. There are a few apartments available in other apartment complexes, so some have gone there, some have gone moved in with their relatives, and I think one or two, unfortunately, are still here.
And what is the city doing just to kind of help move this process and make it as painless as possible, even though it's already, you know, kind of a hindrance to everyone, being that this is their home and what they've been used to the last couple years?
Well, we wanted to try to help make this as smooth as possible for them, and we knew that the Dah-Tah board was in some financial straits. So the two dumpsters that people have been able to put their stuff in, the city is paying for that. We're also, for those people that have been displaced and are in another apartment here in Milan, we're going to pay, we're going to defer the deposit, which saves them a couple $100s. So we're trying to provide assistance where we can.
And it is hard, really, because there isn't much you can do until the money is raised to really go in and rebuild, because without fixing the sewage pipes and everything, it's not suitable for anyone to really live here. So, and you had talked about fundraising efforts when we had talked on the phone. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Has there been any progress? Well,
it's my understanding that somebody has already gone online and started the fundraising process. But this summer on our amphitheater, we're going to have some entertainment, and we're going to have a musical group. And what we're looking at trying to do is parlay that into a major fundraising initiative to help the people either replace some of their furniture, help them with utility bills, just basic needs that they have.
And that sounds awesome. Yes, there is actually, I found it this morning, a GoFundMe site for Dah-Tah. And we will have links to that on our Facebook page as well as our website. And we'll put all the fundraising efforts, and we'll keep everyone updated on our website as well. Sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning. A little bit later on in the show, we will talk with some residents and family members that help move residents out of here. But for now, we'll send it back to you, Ella.
And topping our 6:30 news block, as you know from earlier in the show, some residents at a senior housing complex in Milan were forced out of their homes following a sewer leak. Samantha Croix has the latest, and she's talking with some of those residents. Good morning, Samantha.
Thanks, Ellen. If you're just joining us this morning, I am in Milan talking about the sewage flooding that happened at the Dah-Tah apartments here in Milan just about 2 weeks ago, so not that long, and residents have been displaced. We talked a little bit earlier with Jim Onello, the city administrator here. And he said that, you know, some fundraising efforts are in the works, so we'll definitely keep you updated on that and everything that you can do to help. But I did have the chance to sit down and talk with some residents and their family members on their process moving out of here and what it was like for them. So here's what they had to say.
I got up and walked toward the kitchen. I'm like, oh no. I said, I have a lot of water, and it was sewer water. Lots of black stuff floating around. So I decided right away we had to get out. and I just grabbed as much stuff as I could.
It was bad. I mean, the smell was horrid. We had to come and open the windows for a day, and then we could go in and do it, start cleaning up. But I couldn't believe how bad it was.
And the city says, well, we'll waive the deposit if you can find a house. The Red Cross said they'd pay the first month's rent if you find a house. And they knew there wasn't no houses in Milan to find.
Now, the city of Milan is doing everything possible to attend to the situation in the Dah-Tah residence. At this time, the Dah-Tah apartments will remain as they are until enough money can be raised to fund the rebuilding of the sewer system. For more information on what you can do to help, head on over to heartlandconnection.com.